Yeah, hey, get up out of here. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Hey, when I retire, I'm going on tour.
Good. How you doing? Good morning,
Good morning.
and good luck this year. And we're wondering what were your thoughts during the off season about remaining healthier than you've been for a while?
I didn't feel comfortable missing that many games. I've missed games in my career, but the Achilles missing 30, not being able to play at full strength in the playoffs against Phoenix, didn't play Game 5, and that didn't sit well with me. And so I made an emphasis on just taking care of my body and getting my body back to what it was as far as strength-wise, my first year here. And that's what my biggest focus on this summer.
And with the moves that were made, what's going to be the big difference between the team this year and last year?
Well, we have a lot of vets, but we won't know until we get started. We're a lot older, but we got a lot more wisdom. Guys know how to play. And not saying the guys didn't last year, but with the veterans that we got, these guys been in the league for a long time, and so we can put a lot more complex stuff in, knowing that guys will understand it a lot quicker. But we won't know the difference until we be able to step on the floor tomorrow for camp, and then a couple preseason games to see where we are and what we can do to be successful this year. What's up, Kyle?
There was a report that when you and LeBron were talking to Russ about coming here, that you were talking about potentially playing more center. What is your expectation for playing center compared to maybe what you played in previous seasons for this team?
Yeah, that was the expectation, and that was discussed, and I expect to play center. I'm not sure, what's going to happen. Me and Frank talked about it a couple of times, and that's the plan. Right now, nothing is set in stone, but we want to see what that looks like, and I'm comfortable with that. Obviously, it's times, where Dwight or DJ, might get to start at center depending on games, but for the most part, I think the plan is to go with me playing center.
Hey, D.
Hey, D, what's up, man?
What's up?
Good to
Everybody, what's up? So we can just get straight.
I like that I was the
I
line,
know, I'm
by
sorry.
the way. I
You were
appreciate
the-
that.
yes.
Thanks. Good looking out. Specifically about Russ, what excites you about having him as a teammate, and how do you think he'll fit with yourself and LeBron?
His energy, his pace. You watch how he gets down the floor, and it was the same thing when we had Doe a couple years ago. You get the ball and we pushing, and the same thing with Russ. Like you have to run, because he's running, and so we don't want him to be the only one that's running the floor and pushing the ball. So for me, I'm very excited just running the floor with him. Elite passer, as we all know, elite lob passer. Catching a couple of lobs from him, but I think his energy, his motor that he always plays with and always brings to every game is something that's going to propel all of us to, play like that for 82. Because there's not one game where he doesn't have that energy and that motor, and we can feed off of that. If we know a guy's going to bring it every night, to be honest, every night guys are going to start getting to you, game 60, game 50, you're like, all right, I need a day. But when you have a guy like that that's bringing that energy and that motor, it gets you going.
Hey, D. What was the rehab process like during the off season, and how does your body feel right now?
Body feel great. It's a lot of just weight strengthening. Getting the Achilles back right. The Achilles was actually fine come towards playoff time, but it was then it was the groin and the knee. So that was the main focus this summer. Just basically starting from scratch and just building my body back up to where I'm comfortable again, and I feel like I got to that point.
AD, last year you had shared with us that you had gotten vaccinated when that became available to the team. Curious what your reaction has been to some of the the comments from players around the league who haven't yet gotten vaccinated? And then what do you think it means for this team? Rob said last week you guys are on pace or will be 100% vaccinated as a team by opening day or opening night. What do you think that means to you and this team?
I'm not sure what some of the other players have said, but at the end of the day, my opinion on it is that every man in this league is a grown man to have their opinion to do what they want to do. For us as a team, you know, we focus on ourselves and what we can do as an organization. And, you know, I think everybody on the team is vaccinated, if I'm not mistaken. And, we all have families. You know, I personally did it for my family. You know, at the time, I had one child, now I have two. My parents was coming around. You know, I had people coming in and out of the house, working, and things like that. Me traveling on the road. You know, I just wanted to make sure I was always protecting my family, and that's first and foremost, and myself, and everyone else around me. And I feel like everyone on the team feels the same way. Hence why I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think everyone on the team is vaccinated, or almost everyone. So, you know, I think that's the main focus for us. You know, making sure that our organization is doing everything we can to help the world, help the community, and do our part.
Hey, D, first off, congratulations with everything.
Thank you.
Backtracking to what you're talking about with the rehab, were there any things that you've done differently this offseason as opposed to other years that you think that will maximize your chances of having a good, clean bill of health this season?
Oh, excuse me. No, I think last summer or last mini summer, you know, I didn't have that much time to get back on track from, you know, the bubble going into the next season. And I think a lot of guys around the league, that's why a lot of guys were getting hurt. But I had my full summer where I was able to, you know, 12 weeks, 3 months, 4 months of you know, training to get my body back to where it's supposed to be. So I'm excited about that. But I think that was the biggest focus, is just, you know, the season, you know, came a little too early. And guys didn't have that proper training, especially guys that went to the bubble and went into a deep playoff run. Guys didn't have that proper training to train their bodies like they normally do to prepare for a season. And, you know, the Lakers in Miami only had, I think, 70-some days before Game 1, which is insane. So I think guys got that full summer, able to rehab and able to get their bodies back. So I think all the guys on the team are healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, AD, given where you're at in your career, do you feel a responsibility this year to make this more your team, to stay on the floor enough to make this, to become the leader of this team?
No, I think I have the capability of doing so. Obviously, we got a lot of great talent on the team, a lot of great leaders, Bron, myself, Russ, Mel. And it takes a group for a leadership. You know, obviously, I know that the guys have talked to me about, you know, this is your team, and kind of the same thing that we did my first year here. But I think adding, you know, a couple guys, it makes that job a lot easier, you know, where it takes a lot of stress and a lot of load off of one guy, where we can have 4, 5, 6 guys that can do what they have to do to win basketball games. And, you know, at the end of the day, we all have to sacrifice to be able to, you know, reach our common goal, and that's win the championship.
AD, you talked about the internal motivation with the Achilles and the 30 games. Externally, there's a lot of gibber talk about how old this team is and will they break down. LeBron seems to be motivated by that. Are you motivated by that?
Yes. I think our entire organization is motivated by that. Our team is motivated by that. It's like people not counting us out because we're the Lakers and who our team is, but they're counting us out because we're old. And we see it, and it's fun, it's exciting. That's why we're so excited to get started. And, you know, everybody has touched on it all over social media. Mel said some. Russ, Bron is the most vocal about it, but everyone is motivated to get started and show everyone that I forgot who said it. Maybe I forgot the name of the